I've got some secrets to share. Hey guys, it's Jara with Wicked Prepared. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We would love that so you don't miss any of our videos. To our subscribers, welcome back. We're glad you're here. If you're so inclined, make sure you give us a thumbs up. It really helps out the algorithm. We just celebrated 5,000 subscribers, and it honestly just blows my mind. When we first started Wicked Prepared, YouTube was not even on our radar. I never thought we would be starting a YouTube channel, but here we are, and we are so thankful for all of our subscribers and all of our viewers and everyone who takes the time to comment. So thank you. I've got a Prepper Pantry haul to share with you today. I've got a lot of things I'm excited to show you, some really great deals that I found. We definitely pulled the trigger on a couple of big ticket items that we've been having our eye on for a while, so that's pretty exciting. If you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to share with you some of my best secrets and tips for saving the most money and paying the least possible amount when you're shopping at Walmart, because I know that budget is a huge consideration for so many of us when we're prepping, and I love helping you guys save money whenever I can. Before we get started, let's talk a little bit about what is going on out there in terms of shortages, in terms of rising prices. I know at least in our area, the shelves are emptier than they have been in quite a while. I know a few videos ago I did say how it's kind of become par for the course. We don't even notice the shortages because we've just become accustomed to it. I'm going to put up some pictures that I've taken at the stores in our area. Mostly I shop at Walmart, but I have gotten into a couple of our other grocery stores recently, and I've seen basically the same thing there. Maybe not quite as bad. But the shelves are pretty bare. I know here in the Northeast we've had a couple bad winter storms, and that does play a part in it. In fact, we do have a storm going on right now. Outside we've got a blizzard warning, and it's pretty windy, it's snowing. But even in between the storms, I've seen the stock levels be really low in the stores. Now, one area that seems to be the worst and seems to be hard hit just about everywhere, even people who are writing in and saying, you know, they're not seeing many shortages in their area, their shelves are full. Almost everywhere, people are noticing shortages in pet foods, especially canned pet foods. There has not been canned cat food of almost any kind in my stores in a long time. The canned dog food's just about as bad, but I've also noticed the dry food has been pretty sparse. So if you have pets, if you don't have pets, that won't apply to you. If you do have pets, make sure that you are stocking up and being prepared for your pets, because it's getting harder and harder to find. And this seems to be something that has not let up. It's been a constant. It hasn't been coming and going like most of the other shortages that we've been seeing. So I'm actually considering, I've been researching making my own canned cat food and dog food. I've made dog food before, but I've never done cat food, so I've been doing some research. So let me know down in the comments if you're interested in seeing that, if I did a video about that. If you have any knowledge or any tips, let me know down in the comments, and definitely make sure you're subscribed if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing. Another area of concern that I've noticed is plastics, plastic materials, plastic packaging. It's gotten a lot more expensive. I know I went in the store the other day to get some plastic containers that I needed, and I walked right out of the store without them because the price had gone up so much. I know these containers that I use, you guys have asked me about these a lot. I keep my pasta and oats and things like that in these big containers. These come from Walmart. I always get people ask me. They're right at Walmart. The price has gone up extensively on those just in the last few months. And they're also using less plastic. The quality has suffered in the plastic containers. You can tell that they're using less plastic to make them, so they're thinner and they break a lot more easily. I know a lot of the shortages and a lot of the problems we're having with the supply chain are being blamed on this latest wave, this latest Omicron that's going through the country. How many of you have been sick? I know in my house we have had a lot of sickness lately. We've had the virus. We've had a few kids have strep. I've had something going on with my sinuses. And speaking of that, how many of you have a neti pot in your medical supplies? This is something that I think is a great item to have in your medical supplies. It's drug-free. It's really just, it's a gravity-fed. It rinses out your nasal passages and your sinuses. So if you're all plugged up in your head, these are great to have. They come with these little packets of a solution that you put in, which basically adjusts the pH so that you're not going to burn in your nasal passages while you're rinsing them out. But these, I've had a lot of people who have had the virus lately, at least this last wave, because I know the symptoms can be different depending on what you have. But a lot of people are using those to rinse out their sinuses and get some relief. So that is a great thing to have. I'll put a link to that down in the description box, because that's a great item to have in your medical equipment. There's another issue of concern that we've been seeing up here in Maine in the Northeast, at least in my area, and that has to do with delivery drivers for heating oil. I've seen a lot of people who are really worried about running out of heating oil because their deliveries are not coming when they're supposed to be coming. And I know we've heard that a lot of the problems we're having with the supply chain have to do with this latest wave of the virus and how many people are getting sick and having to miss work and having to be out. And that is what is happening with the oil trucks and the oil delivery drivers. They've had a lot of drivers out and they've gotten really behind in their deliveries. And so there's a lot of people concerned about not getting their heating oil delivered. We've been having really sub-zero temperatures, 15 below zero a lot of nights, and it really burns through the oil pretty quickly. And you definitely don't want to run out. So that's been a concern around here. Well, those are some of the things that have been weighing on my mind lately. Now let's see what I got to add to my prepper pantry this week. This is the way we've got to do things now. Get what we can get when we can get it, and get as good of a deal as we can to try to combat the rising prices. Here's just an overview of what we've got this week. The first thing I grabbed were these Coleman fuels. Now these are for a couple of stoves that I have. This goes to a very lightweight backpacking stove that I have, which is really great to have for bug out bags or to keep in your vehicle if you were ever going to be caught in your vehicle in a storm or anything. And these other butane fuels go to my little butane stove, which I love to have for cooking indoors when the power is out. So my first tip for saving money shopping at Walmart is that I purchase everything I possibly can online through the app. I can pick it up in the store or I can have it delivered to my home, either way. But by shopping online, and this is not just Walmart, this is anywhere, I use cashback apps to get shop and earn points for cashback. The one that I usually use is Swagbucks. And I use Swagbucks because I've been using it for years. I've got a lot of experience with it. It always seems to go through. And it also has a lot of other ways that you can earn from like rebates, kind of like Ibotta. It also has surveys you can take. But so that's usually the one I use. But there's other apps out there that you might already have, Rakuten, Honey, and I'll talk more about Honey later. But so you can usually get anywhere from 1%. I've seen it go all the way up to 8 or 10%, depending on the app and the promotion that they're having. And if you have more than one app, you can certainly shop around and see which one is offering the best deal, the highest percentage for cash back, and go shop through that app. But so the second thing with shopping online is this Coleman fuel, for example. I looked online and it was on sale for $7.72. In my store, it was marked at $11.47. So just by shopping online, I got quite a considerable savings. In fact, I probably should grab some more of these while they're still on sale for that price, because even the half size one, the smaller canister that's half the size, was $6.47. So I barely paid more than that for the larger canister. So after the Coleman fuels, I did get some paper products. I got a couple of these packs of toilet paper that we use. We all know why toilet paper is important to have on hand. And I know that these packs will last us about a month in our house. I did get 2 this time. My trick for stocking up is usually if you're trying to build up a supply of something, buy 2 where you would have bought 1. And if you're just trying to maintain because you have as much of a supply as you want, then you just replace what you use. I have been pretty comfortable with having a 6-month supply of paper products like this, but I think I'm going to try to build it up a little bit higher. So I grabbed 2 of those things of toilet paper, and then I got a bunch of tissues. I think I've got about 20 boxes of tissues here. I know I mentioned that we've been sick in this house, so we're just kind of trying to build back our tissue supply. Now this was something I was super excited to find in the clearance aisle, these couple of Arrow Gardens. I know that we had these on clearance at our stores at the end of the summer, and I just decided I wasn't really interested. But since then I've talked to some people who have these who really like them, and I kind of decided I wished I had grabbed them when they were on clearance. So they must have gotten them in for Christmas again, and then they went on clearance. Now this one was marked $40, but I used the app to scan it. That's another tip for saving money, is always shop with your app and scan and see if the prices are different. This was marked $40, but it actually rang up for $35. And then after that, this is the smaller little 3-pod one. But after that, I found this one, which is the 6-pod, so it's about twice as big. It was marked $50. That one also rang up for $35. So I'm super excited to get to try these, because I really believe that gardening and growing your own food is so important for survival, like in any type of emergency, any type of economic downturn, any type of depression, any type of economic crash. The people who do fare best are the ones who can grow their own food. Now, we have been having a garden for a few years, but we are toying with ways that we can, we live in Maine, so we can't get fresh food year round out of our garden. So we're toying with different ways to be able to get fresh food, during the winter, during this time of the year. So I'm hoping that these Aero Gardens are going to help with that a little bit. We're also getting some stuff to start sprouting and microgreens and all sorts of things like this. As excited as I am to get started with these, I think I'm going to leave this one in the box for now because $35, I actually saw online, it was not in this area, but someone was able to get one of these actually for $5 on clearance. And my store had quite a few of these, so I think I'm going to hold on to it and wait and see if the price drops any lower. And if it does, I'll return the one that I got for $35. Now next I got a bunch of personal hygiene supplies, which is really important to keep a good supply of this type of stuff. Now this time of year, usually Walmart is clearing out their, personal care section. So I was able to find a lot of these things on clearance. These prices aren't amazing, but considering what the prices have been lately, it's not that bad. I got one of these shampoos, 3 each of these shampoos and conditioners. Now I had picked up 3 conditioners and only 1 shampoo because we use a lot more conditioner than shampoo in this family. But when I went to check out this, I didn't check the price in the aisle, but when I checked out, this rang up less than it was marked. So it was quite a bit cheaper than the conditioner. So I decided to go back and get the extras because it's just good to save money on those. Now I got some lotions. This lotion for me is like a necessity, a comfort item. I have got to have lotion on my hands and my face anytime I wash them. And this time of the year, it's winter, everybody's sick, you're washing your hands all the time. So I'm using a lot of lotion. And this is not an expensive lotion. This is very inexpensive. It's just the Equate, but I love this lotion. This is what I use on my hands and my face. It's the only thing that I use. So I did grab a couple extra of those. I have a few extra already, but I'm trying to build up my supply of these. Now this lotion, this is a Nivea Men. It's a cream, so it's a very thick and rich sort of skin protectant and lotion. But I've got to tell you, I grabbed this for one reason and one reason only. This was in the clearance aisle at my store for 75 cents, and I scanned it in my Ibotta app, and there was a rebate for $2. And you could do it 5 times. So I did grab 5 of these because this was a huge moneymaker. This was $1.25 a piece money that I made on that. And I know that, anytime that you can get something for free to add to your preps, or anytime that you can make money buying something, that is extra money that you can put into your preps. So that's why I grabbed these, but I do think they'll come in handy for something. That's a really great thing about Ibotta, is that it's very easy within the app to scan an item from the app, and it'll tell you if any rebates match up to that item. So if you walk down your clearance aisle and just scan items, sometimes you can find some really great deals or some money makers just by doing that. And if you've used the app for a while, you'll start to notice brands and types of items that tend to have rebates, so you can know what to grab and check if there's a lot of things in the clearance aisle. I got a couple of these little mini Jergens because these are the ones that I like to keep in my car, because I do have one right by the driver's seat in the car so that I always have lotion for my hands. These are some immune boosting, the Super C, we've been using for a while. I just grabbed 2 more from Amazon because it was a pretty good deal on Amazon, and we've been going through this, so I got a couple more of these. Now this quercetin is something that we got. It's a very powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antiviral. It is found naturally in some foods, so it's a very natural supplement to take, but it works with zinc. This Super C has obviously vitamin C, vitamin D3, and zinc for immunity. And the quercetin works with, quercetin, I guess, works with the zinc. It's a zinc ionophore, I believe is what it's called, and it basically helps the zinc to penetrate into the cells to work better for immunity. So these are just a couple that I got from Amazon because I couldn't find these locally, any quercetin. This one has bromelain, stinging nettle, and vitamin C, and this is just the quercetin. So we have all been taking quite a bit of this for immunity, and these are a couple of things. This was another thing that I got a good deal on by going online and This is basically for sore throat, but this has really helped me with my cough. Like if I, when I've had a cough lately, it's lingered for a long time, and you have to go out in public, and if you're coughing, people are looking at you kind of strange. So this just helps really suppress it for me. So I've been going through a lot of these. So we got some more of these to have, and this is another brand of basically the same thing that I was just going to try because the price was pretty good. And then we got some water storage items. Now this, I use a lot of these 5-gallon jugs. We do have a water cooler that we use for our water so that we can get cold water, and we actually use it more for the hot water because the kids can make oatmeal, tea, ramen, that type of thing straight out of the hot water from the water cooler. But because we use these on our water cooler, I decided this would be a really good way to help me stock up on water storage. So I try to get one of these 5-gallon jugs or a 3-gallon every so often, and I just fill them straight out of the tap and I store them down cellar. So we have some extra water stored, but it's going to be rotated because I'm not just storing gallons of water that I have no use for. We do use these on the water cooler. So because of that, I don't have to worry about rotating my water supply as much because it's going to naturally be rotated. So, and then this is something that we are very excited about. We did finally break down and get a Berkey water filter. This is a Berkey Royal, I believe, because for only about $30 extra, we could get a whole extra gallon of capacity. And we finally broke down and got this because, I mean, we store water. We do have some other smaller, less expensive water filters, Sawyer Mini. We have Life Straws. We have plenty of things for purifying water, but really we have been wanting to get one of these to have on hand just in case. And this, the price went up on these a little while ago, and I really wanted to grab one before the price went up the first time. I did not grab it, and then we just found out that the prices are going to be going up considerably again, so this was the time to do it. If you're going to get a Berkey, you're going to want to do it now because the prices are going up again. I'm assuming the price, the cost of the materials is going up, and that's probably has a lot to do with it. So we did grab a Berkey, and if you get something like this, make sure you're getting extra filters. Also, whatever water filter system you have, make sure you have plenty of extra filters. They can be kind of expensive, so just grab, one package of filters every once in a while whenever you can to add to your supply. I know there were a couple of reports last year in 2021 of attempted cyber attacks on the water supply. There was one that happened in Florida, one that happened in California, where cyber attackers were able to get into the system and change the amounts of things in the water to make it toxic. And fortunately, those were thwarted. They were discovered before it was able to get into the water supply. But it really just made me think about the water supply that we rely on and how vulnerable that is. And so I know there's a lot of people who use their Berkey water filter just on an everyday basis. And I think that's probably a good policy. And now on to some food stuff. I've got some things here from the grocery store and some things from Walmart and some things from Amazon. Now I do have another tip for saving money, especially on Amazon. There is an app called Honey, and I will put a link to this down in the description box as well. And Honey has a lot of uses. It actually does have a shop and earn just like Swagbucks, but it also has a really handy thing that shows up on Amazon. They have a browser extension. You have to put the browser extension on your computer, and you can use the Honey browser extension to check the price history of items on Amazon, because on Amazon the prices go up and down quite frequently. And there's usually a pattern to it. So you can check the price history. It'll show you, where the price has gone up and down. Here's an example. This is on an AUGUSON Farms item, which actually there's a lot of really great deals going on AUGUSON Farm items right now. I just pulled this up to show you an example of the honey, but I'll put some of these down in the description box as well. But you can see it's showing you where the price has raised and dropped. You also can do something called drop list. You can add it to your drop list, and it will email you. Anything you add to your drop list, if the price drops by a certain percent that you can set, it will email you so that you can go and purchase it at the lowest price when the price drops. Now these Green Giant Mexicorn I did grab from Amazon, and this is a good example of me making a mistake. I try to pay attention to details, but I did make a mistake. In this case, I was having a hard time finding this Mexicorn, and I do have a couple of specific recipes that use this, and I used some recently and noticed that I was getting low. So I wanted to stock back up, and I went to Amazon because I've had a hard time finding it locally, and I had no idea that they actually made this in different size cans. I just assumed this is the size of can. This is a store brand, but it's basically the same thing. It's an 11-ounce can. It's what I usually use. I didn't even know they made a smaller can. This is a 7-ounce can, so I had no idea I was purchasing the wrong size until this showed up. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do with this, because I did find the store brand of the same thing at a couple of grocery stores near us, and so I need to do some figuring and decide if I do want to keep this or if I want to send it back. But I did grab a few more cans of the 11-ounce anyhow to have on hand. And then I got some of these Bisquick buttermilk biscuit mix. I think I got 6 of these. What I like about these is that they're just add water. I do like to have some just add water mixes in my prepper pantry, because sometimes you may not have access to milk or eggs or oil or whatever else might be required for mixes. So anytime I can get a just add water mix, I will. Now I've made my own cornbread, just add water cornbread mix. I'll put a link to that video down in the description, because that was amazing. And I do want to try making my own just add water biscuit mix, but I haven't gotten a chance to try that out yet. So I did get 6 of these just add water Bisquick mixes. And then this is another item that I got from my Amazon subscribe and save. This is a mushroom soup and seasoning base, and I just thought this would be kind of a neat ingredient to have for some of my meals in a jar. I love mushroom flavored anything and mushrooms, so I've been wanting to try this, so I finally did grab this on my subscribe and save to try. And then these I got at one of our grocery stores, Shaw's, that we have. They are one of those grocery stores that has really good sale prices, but all the rest of their prices are awful. So I really just go there for sales. And we don't have one super close by. It's about half an hour away. But they had this different pastas on sale for 47 cents a box. So 47 cents for a pound of pasta I thought was a great deal. I love having pasta in my prepper pantry because it's just such a simple thing that everyone likes. I haven't had issues with storing it more long term. I know depending on where you live, some people have had issues, so you could seal this up in some Mylar with oxygen absorbers, but I have not had issues. I did get the salad macaroni because, number one, by the time I got into the store, most of the other types were sold out that were on sale, but also I tend to get, whole wheat and other healthy types of pasta where it's available, but something like salad macaroni, you're not going to find this in a whole wheat or any other, high protein, healthy version. So I got 4 of these because that was the limit. These will probably get used in the summer because they're a salad macaroni, and I only make macaroni salad in the summer. But now this is another Amazon subscribe and save. I have showed you this before. I'm not going to open it up. It's basically Lipton Recipe Secrets, the herb and garlic soup mix. This is one that I use in a very specific recipe. I sometimes have a hard time finding this, and it's one of those things I would never want to be without. So I get a case of it about every 6 months. I do have some open. That's why I'm not going to open this up and show you, but I'll put a picture up. And I'll also link to the recipe down in the comments that I like. The next thing I got was a case of these little ramen cups. Now, most of this is the lime chili with shrimp. This is my absolute favorite. And I don't eat these very often because, I try to avoid things like this. But when I wasn't feeling good, I just wanted something easy and comforting. And I know for a lot of people, it would seem strange to eat something spicy when you're not feeling good. But to me, this was amazing. So I used up all that we had left of this flavor while I was sick. So I just wanted to replace it. I won't eat these very often. But I do love the lime chili with shrimp. And then I put in 2 of the cheddar cheese because this is one that the kids like a lot. And I didn't want to buy. This was all that they had at the store. They didn't even have a full case. And I didn't want to buy a partial case, so I threw in 2 of the cheddar cheese. Now this pizza, obviously this is not so much of a prepper item because this is a frozen item, but I'm just showing you this because this was something that I got for free on Ibotta. And I know I've talked about this before, and a lot of you have signed up, and I hope that you're getting a lot of free deals. This is the same app that I used to get those Moneymaker Nivea lotions that I just showed you. Anything that you can get for free is going to help out because it can save you money, and you can put that money towards your prepper pantry somewhere else. So this pizza for free on Ibotta, this will be a lunch or supper for Mr. Wicked Prepared some afternoon or evening if the kids are not home. And that's going to save me money in the long run and give me more to put towards the prepper pantry. Now back here, this is another one of the big purchases that we have, something I've been wanting for quite a while. And we finally pulled the trigger because I got a really good deal. This was at Walmart. And I have wanted one of these. Now we have, you know, a few camp stoves, small camp stoves. This is a large, it stands up on legs. If you've seen these Camp Chefs, the first time I ever was familiar with these was when we were camping with the Cub Scouts, and the Cub Scouts had one of these, and it's really great. I don't know that I would bring this camping with our family because we have a smaller camp stove, but if you're camping with a large group, but this is great. It runs on propane. A lot of people will use these for off-grid canning. People will use this for canning with their pressure canner if they live off-grid, but even people who have electricity will use these a lot of the time because either they have a glass top stove that they can't can on, or they're not comfortable canning on, or they just want to move their canning outside of their house. If it's summertime and it's really hot, they don't want to be running the stove and the canner inside. So this is something that I've been wanting for my canning and just wanting to have as just another option for cooking without electricity. I was in Walmart and I was picking up those Coleman fuels, and I happened to look down and notice that they sold this Camp Chef and the price looked pretty good. And so I went to scan it with my app, because what I would have done is I would have added it to my cart and I would have purchased it online so I could do the shop and earn and get shop and earn cash back. But their inventory was messed up and it said they didn't have any available in the store, so I wasn't able to do that. But what I did see when I scanned it with the app was that online it was priced at $124.99 and it was priced at $146 in the store. And $146 was already a pretty good price for this. I was expecting to pay around $200. So what I was able to do, this is another tip for saving money at Walmart, is they will match online prices. They'll online price match their own prices. It has to be sold and shipped by Walmart, which this was. So I was able to take the stove up to the register and show the cashier the online price, and they adjusted the price at the register. So I was able to get this stove for $124.99. So I had to grab it. I couldn't pass up that deal. I'll put the link to this exact listing in the description box below because it wasn't showing up as available to ship, so I wasn't able to order this. I had to purchase it in my store. So you can use that link to see if it's available in your store. And if it's not marked at $124.99, you can have them do an online price match. But I'll also put links in the description to this same stove or one like this on Amazon in case you cannot find it at Walmart and you want to purchase one. And there's also another brand. It's not Camp Chef, but they sell it on Amazon, and I did notice it was right around the same price as the $125. So I'll put those links down in the description box for you as well. The next thing I got was some items from Mother Earth Products online. Now, I have gotten a lot of their products before. What I usually get from them is a lot of their instant beans, because we get a lot of our long-term food storage items from Thrive Life, and Thrive Life has some instant beans, but they only have two types, black beans and red beans. And the Mother Earth Products has a very wide variety of instant beans, all sorts of beans. You can see here I got kidney beans, Great Northern beans, they've got lentils, they've got all sorts of things. So I've gotten these before, and I got an email from them that they were having an inventory reduction sale. They were having 20% off of a bunch of items. And so most everything I got here was from that inventory reduction sale. I'll put a link down below to Mother Earth Products in general because we do use a lot of their products, and I'll put a link to the page with the 20% off items. And they have, just like Thrive Life, they have free shipping on $99 or above. So I usually try to put together, wait till I have a big order to put together. But with the sale, I definitely wanted to jump on it and grab. Now these are some TVP, like texturized, it's basically vegetarian meat substitutes. And I have a daughter who likes to eat vegetarian. So I do like to grab TVP. So this is a taco mix, a taco seasoned one. Beef bits, so it's like a beef flavored TVP. So I could put that into chili or, any sort of little meals for her. Because I like to do the meals in a jar. And I want to make her up some smaller meals in a jar, some single serving ones in vegetarian. So I did get navy beans, Great Northern beans, kidney beans, and these are the lentils, which I love lentils, so I was really excited to find the instant lentils. So I'll put a link to these products down in the description box. And then I got, now this, I use this stuff all the time. This is a really pretty big bottle of minced garlic, squeezy garlic. And I did not realize until recently that this is actually, I get this at BJ's, which is our warehouse club, and it's in the refrigerated section. So I thought it had to be refrigerated, but I noticed on the back it does say refrigerate after opening. It does not say it needs to be refrigerated before. And if you look at the date on this, it's good till the end of 2023. So this is actually good for quite a long time. I use the garlic version and I also use the ginger. They have a ginger just like this in a big bottle, so I use a lot of those. So now that I know it doesn't have to be refrigerated and it has such a long shelf life, I'm going to be stocking up on some more of these. I did grab a couple of these. These have been hard to come by. The cracker section has been pretty wiped out at my Walmart, and these cheese wows, I mean, I know this is junk, but it's something that the kids enjoy sometimes, and I actually like it. Sometimes it does say made with real cheese. It has a little bit of calcium. I'm not going to sit here and pretend this is like a health food, but sometimes just having something fun or comforting or something to make your foods more palatable is important to have. And these are shelf stable. They can sit on the shelf. They can, you know, go in your car as long as it's not freezing or boiling out. So I grabbed a couple of those. And then the last thing I got is some more pet foods. I know I got dog food last time. This is another 30-pound bag of the Rachel Ray limited ingredient. It used to be called Just 6, and they've changed the name of it. But we use this for 3 of our 5 dogs. So I put that on my subscribe and save on Amazon because it was a pretty good price. So I got another bag of that. And I did get a 30-pound bag of the Meow Mix and a 16-pound bag of the Meow Mix because this is what we use for our cats. We have 6 cats and they like this food. It's not too expensive, but I did notice that the prices have gone up on these. And we used to also get this at BJ's, and BJ's is no longer carrying this. They've cut their pet food selection way down, and I've heard people say this about other warehouse clubs as well. So I can't get this at BJ's anymore. So I did get 46 pounds at Walmart. The price had gone up considerably, but I'm trying to build up our pet food supply. Like I said, we have quite a few pets. We have 5 dogs and 6 cats. So it's difficult to build it up because they go through a lot, but it's so important right now because that is one of the biggest areas of shortages that I have seen, and it's pretty concerning for those of us who have pets. All right, guys, those are the things that we've added to our prepper pantry this week. I'm really excited about some of the deals that I found and some of the bigger items that we finally took the plunge and bought. I think in the current environment that we're in, it's kind of a grab what you can get when you can get it kind of situation. And if you see a deal on something or you know the price is going to go up, grab it if you can, because the prices are definitely going up. They're not going to be going back down. So anytime you can save money on something, you're going to be better off. Now, I hope you learned some little tricks that I use to save money, not only at Amazon and Walmart, but anywhere. I'm shopping online and using a shop and earn service, and that works for many, many different stores. It's not just Walmart, and you can usually earn anywhere from 1% up to, I'd say, maybe 15%, depending on the time, what's being offered, the service that you're using. I use Swagbucks usually for that. I'll put the link to that down in the description, and I'll put a link to a few others that I've used also. Another reason that I love to buy online when I can is because personally, this is just me personally, but I use credit cards with rewards. Now, I would never suggest anyone to get a credit card because credit cards can be a total pit if you don't have the discipline to keep them paid off. But if you have the discipline to keep them paid off, they can be a tool because you can earn usually anywhere from 1 to 5% is what I earn on my cards. And I will put down in the description box the link to the one that I like to use. In fact, one of my credit cards usually has a couple of 5% categories every quarter, and right around wintertime, usually one of the categories is PayPal, and I am able to get my heating oil and pay with PayPal at one of the cheapest discount heating oil places in our area. So being able to get 5% back on my heating oil has been a huge, huge blessing. So one of the other things that I talked about was Honey. Now, Honey has a bunch of different features. It does have its own type of shop and earn. It also will find discount coupons for you when you're at the checkout in a store. And the thing that I really use the most, and this has to be done with the browser extension on a computer. I don't believe it works on a phone yet. But on Amazon, I use the price tracking feature to see, you know, if the price has gone up or down, if I can expect it to drop in anytime soon. And I use the drop list feature to get an email when the price drops on something that I'm keeping an eye on. So that is a great tool to use. I'll have a link to that down in the description box. And I also talked about Ibotta, which is one of the rebate apps that I use, and that's probably the biggest, the easiest to use, and it probably has the most free items and moneymaker items out of all of the apps that I use. and that's the one that I did show you a few items today, but I do have other apps that I use, so I'll have links to all those down in the description box as well. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave me a cat or a dog emoji, since pets is one of the areas that I've been really concerned about lately. Make sure that you're subscribed to our channel and give us a big thumbs up. I'm Jara with Wicked Prepared. Survive today, thrive tomorrow. We'll see you next time.